What's up, guys? It's your girl Martine Myers. We're here for the Martine Show, 8 p.m. EST. We are going to have Miss Tiwana Carlton with us here tonight, talking to us about herself and her endeavors. She is an author and a women empowerment speaker. For those of you who don't know, the Martine Show normally comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've been a little off because we've had some things that we had to take care of. But the Martine Show normally comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. EST. It's all about self-love. It's a self-love journey. The interviewee talks about themselves, okay? It's about self-awareness, self-development, and everything social. Everything that we discuss comes from the interviewee. No preparation, no script. We just go with the flow, and that's how it goes. So tonight we have Tiwana Carlton. Shaniqua, thank you so much for being here. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for your support. Tiwana is actually in the waiting room, so we're going to connect her so that we could get started. So we're going to wait for Tiwana to come on. Those of you who are on, if you could share, we would appreciate it. Hi, Miss Tiwana
Hello.
Carlton.
I was trying to get you on the Mac, but I guess it does not allow you to. So I'm glad I had my phone right here in front of me.
I'm doing it from my phone as well, so it's
Okay.
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 Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually a lot easier to do it through the phone.
Okay.
Um, I find so that's what we're doing.
Okay.
But thank you so much for accepting the invitation. I really appreciate it, Queen. And I want to say that I'm just delighted to have you on and really excited about your journey. For people who don't know, Tawana and I have been connected for a while now. She's actually supported me on my journey as an author. She watched me start my journey, become an award-winning author, and it just kept rolling. I always had her support. I've been watching her grow her organization. Is it Girls Help? What is it?
Girls. Yes, girls have girls.
Girls help girls. I've been watching her do that. I've been watching her do her cooking show. So those of you who don't know, go and follow her on Soul Cooking with Tea, right?
Yes. Yes.
Please do go follow her there, okay? Because she does do some nice cook-ups. And now she's on her authorship game and she's doing her women empowerment, speaking all over the place. And then she became a nominee for a very prestigious organization that we will be talking about towards the end of the interview. But I want to say that I'm enjoying your journey, your the seed flourish, because it's really, really something. It's a big difference to just see you in the limelight. Like, seriously.
I thank you. I thank you for having me on tonight. Um, it has been a journey, and I have enjoyed every step of this journey. I thank you for following me. And like you say, getting a chance to talk about my nomination. It was because of you, and I thank you for that. And of course, we'll talk about it toward the end. I'm just excited to be here uh, to spend some time with you.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. You know what? I always thought that you were in New York for some
So,
reason because we've been part of Grown Girls for the longest,
yes.
and I just always thought that you were in New York. But now I remember, like, oh, she's not in New
Nope.
York.
Nope. I'm in Southern California, as far south as you can go without going into Mexico. So I am as far south as
Oh,
I possibly go. Yes.
so you're close to Tijuana.
Yes. I'm just a couple of miles from Tijuana, right at the border.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah.
right, nice. So
Yes.
you can go on and introduce yourself let people know who you are, and then the conversation will flow from there.
Okay. So again, thank you so much, Martine, for having me on tonight as your special guest. I'm excited to be here. I'm Tiwana Carlton. I'm your empowerment speaker, and I'm also the host of Soul Cooking with Tea. And I'm also the CEO of Girls Help Girls One Hand at a Time. We are a nonprofit here in San Diego, California. Just because we are based here in San Diego does not mean that I cannot come to you and provide services for young girls ages 10 to 17. For some of you may not know, I'm a Southern girl, so you may hear that Southern thing come out a little bit. I'm was born in Jersey, but raised in Alabama. I come from a little small town, Troy, Alabama, and so I am a Southern girl, deep in my soul, a Southern girl. And so I have just been on this journey of learning about me, and also, as Martine mentioned, Soul Cooking with Tea. So I share on my cooking show many recipes and things that I've learned from my grandmother, things that I learned from the women in my community, the women that I grew up with, just watching them. And so it has been a journey to be able to share meals, something as simple as baked chicken, but it's about the love and the things that you can share with your family. And then, being this women empowerment speaker, one thing I had to learn is that I had to empower myself first. And so I'm just excited to have this opportunity to just come in and share with you all tonight.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're super excited to have you on. Thank you, everyone, for your support. The chat room is lit, so I'm so glad about that. Your support is amazing. One part I want to highlight on, which is really important, is that you stated that you had to work on yourself. When did you get to that point to realize that you had to first work on yourself before you can go out and really branch out to really be speaking to people?
It started right before I turned 50. And I didn't understand what was going on. I was crying every day. I was mad every day. I was cursing every day. I was barking at my family every day. Life seemed to be just everywhere, and I couldn't understand it. And I have a dear girlfriend. We've been friends since preschool. And I would call her, or she would call me, and we would have a conversation. And one day she told me, she said, "Listen, girl, I'm tired of you crying. What is the problem?" And I did not know what it was, because I didn't understand what that feeling was, because it seems as though life was all out of whack. I could not grasp what was going on. And I didn't know if it was because I was about to turn 50. And thinking about the age here, I can remember, my parents, my grandparents, my grandmother especially, and my mother. And I'm saying, okay, I'm getting to that age that they have passed, and I'm about to be 50, and I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want in life. All the dreams and things that I had dreamed as a little girl, it all went out the window. And so here I was, 50, about to turn 50. And was having a meltdown and didn't know why I was having this meltdown.
Wow. I love the fact that you said you had a girlfriend that said, hold up, basically you're crying too much. What is going on?
Yes.
That is something that is very important that we need to highlight on, because, it's funny. It's so ironic. Like I tell you, this show is very innate, because just over this week, I was having a conversation with someone in reference to people sharing their trauma for compatibility. We're having this conversation, and I came to a point where I said, listen, we got to stop this, because it's good to share what you go through,
right?
Like telling your story.
Right.
But when you're sharing it in terms of a traumatic situation, like you're hyperventilating everything, you're crying, you're only dumping on that particular person that's actually there on you, right? That's number one. And number two, it's like, that person, what are they supposed to do? I mean, they could be there to help you find a solution, which is what happened with you.
Right.
But at the same time, everyone is not really equipped with the mechanism to be able to be like, hold up, something is not right. Like,
Right,
we got
right,
to
right.
shake this up, you know? So I'm glad that you had that person that was able to stand up for you,
Yes,
because that's very important to have. You know,
yes,
everybody does not have that. So what
yes.
was that experience like when your girlfriend actually said something got to give?
I mean, I literally could hear her, but I still was in that mode of I'm crying. I don't understand. I'm still wondering. And I could still hear her saying, girl, listen, we got to get this together because I'm not understanding why you're crying. I don't know. And she started just to have a conversation with me. She started to talk. You know, she asked me, is it because we're getting to the age of our parents? Is
Mm,
going on in your life that you need to talk about? Like she wanted to know like what it is, but I could not verbally speak of what it was because I didn't understand it myself. So I was still hearing her and digesting it. Now this particular girlfriend, we had, like I said, preschool, and so I'm 55, she's 54, so we've been friends for over 50 years.
wow.
I lived on the side street, she lived on the front street. And so we've gotten in trouble together. We've done our, we've rolled out together. We went to high school together. We went in band together. And so we've shared so much, but I could hear her, but I could not respond because I did
Mm,
not understand it myself. And so it took several conversations between her and I. And for this particular girlfriend, listen, sometimes we are on the phone 4 and 5, 6 hours at a time, and we're talking. And it's no particular reason, we just, get on the phone and talk. But she had to help me through it because I could not understand what these feelings, I was going through all these emotions. But then I had to have a conversation with God.
yes.
I had to have that conversation because God, I don't understand what this is. I don't understand what I'm about to walk into because 50, I remember, growing up, and I remember saying to our parents or some of our friends that were older than us, you old. So now here I am about to be 50, and I'm saying, oh, I'm old. Wait a minute. What happened? My hopes, my dreams, the things I dreamed I was going to be doing, it was like those things had passed me by. It was like it was too late. Like you just, it's too late. You can't do that. But that was only the enemy talking. But at
Hmm.
the time, I didn't know that's what that was about. That was the enemy saying, nope, you can't do it. Nope, time has passed by. Nope, you're not going to achieve none of this. All of the things that you dreamed of, they have passed you by. Life, the things you think, the time that you've lost with your son, nope, you're not going to get it back. So all of these emotions and things that I wanted to do and dreams. And so it was like, nope, you're not going to achieve it. And so it was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm at a standstill. I don't understand. And so I cried, like I said, for a couple of months. And once I started to pray and start to have a relationship with God, things started to change. I could start to understand what some of these emotions was. That, listen, life has just begun and now it's about to take off. So now what are you going to do?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Just to hear you say that is so breathtaking. Wow. So
Yes.
basically, at the time that I connected with you and you were in Grown Girls,
Uh-huh.
you were kind of going through that crisis, or you had just worked up
Yes.
that crisis?
Oh, no, I was going through it. But
Wow.
because I had a mask on and nobody knew all that was going on. So you saw the mask I wanted you to see out in public. You
Hmm.
see, no one on social media saw the mask that I was wearing in private. So the
Wow.
mask that I was wearing in private was, here I am depressed, here I am alone, here I don't know who I am, whose I am, and I don't know what am I supposed to be doing in this life. I don't know my purpose. How am I supposed to know my purpose? And so what you and many more were seeing was the mask that I showed in public. That I'm a woman, I got it all together. I'm doing all these amazing things. I know my self-worth. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm blessed. But when I got home and the mask I showed behind closed doors, was none of that.
Mm. So when would you say that you finally was able to say to yourself, like, I know who I am right now. I know what my purpose is, and I'm going to fulfill it?
For one, in 2014, I was driving because I used to live in Ventura County, so we live now in San Diego. So when one day I was driving down the 94, which is the main highway, I was playing Biggie Smalls, and I could hear this voice say, "Start a nonprofit." So I turned the radio down because I'm saying I know I'm in the car by myself, and I know no recording is going on. And at the time, I think I had an iPhone, but it wasn't, really into how to use it and all. It was just answer, send a text message. And I'm saying, okay,
Mm-hmm.
my phone is not on. It's just me and Biggie. So I turned Biggie back up, and I could still hear that small, quiet voice saying, "I need you to start a nonprofit for young girls." So I turned the radio back down. Mind you now, I still did not have a personal relationship with God. Listen, I was raised in the church, involved in the church, but I did not have a personal relationship. I did not know God for myself. I
Okay.
knew as I've grown up that I was covered by my parents. I knew I was covered. And by people that was in the family that was praying. You learn that. I learned that. But I did
Mm-hmm.
not know God for myself. And
Mm-hmm.
so I said, Lord, if that's you, I need to know that's you. I need to know that is you speaking to me. And so I did not turn Biggie back up. But before I got home, that voice spoke to me again. So when I got home, I immediately went to my computer saying, okay, I need to know how to start this nonprofit, because I'm saying I don't have $25,000 to reach out to an attorney to start my business, like, getting all the paperwork and everything started. And he has made the steps for me very clear, because I was able to reach out to San Diego University. They have an entrepreneurship clinic, and I was able to reach out to them and to be able to start my nonprofit. Like the path. He made it so clear. He made it so plain that I could see it and I could understand it. So I knew then, okay, I'm supposed to be working with young girls. But to know my purpose in empowering women, it had to be in 2017. So I'm a part of a mentoring program under the leadership of Regina Robinson. She's out of Maryland. And so I boarded the plane not knowing who or whose I was. Didn't know what I wanted in life. Didn't know what I was about to do. Only thing I knew is that I was going to this retreat with my other sisters. And I was determined that I wanted to know more about me. So I wanted to learn. And so when I got to Maryland, things started to happen, because one thing and it's in my book, is that when I boarded that plane, I boarded more. I was overweight with more than just my luggage.
Mm-hmm.
I was overweight with life. And so learning to know who I was and who I was started then. Like I started to pray. I started to read the Bible a little at a time, because that was something I had not done. I had not sat down and read the Bible. Mind you now, I was raised in the church, in the Baptist church. Father was the head deacon, very active in church, but had not taken time to read the Bible, because my parents said, "You going to church? This is what you're gonna do. So being obedient."
Mm-hmm.
But I had to learn for myself. I had to know the Holy Spirit. Now, that was my first experience hearing that voice that was so loud in the car. But I had other experience, but I didn't know that's what the Holy Spirit, that was him speaking to me. Had no clue that's what it was. And so 17, I was on that journey of learning me, learning what I wanted, whose I am, and who I am. Because I did not know, because I had been doing everything for everybody. So I had been standing with my sisters, with my brothers, making sure that their life was going on, making sure they needed what they needed. But I was not doing what I needed to be doing, because I didn't know who I was. And so on that trip, I started to learn who I was. And so it has been a journey. So since 2017, it has been a journey. It didn't happen overnight. I'm still learning about me. And I'm loving learning about me.
I'm so loving your journey, especially when you say that things really started to spark up for you at the age of 50, and you realize that you didn't have a connection with God. So it was really a spiritual journey that you embarked on,
Yes.
to find yourself, to find your purpose and really recognize what you really ought to be doing.
Right.
The voices that you heard, totally amazing experience, because that's the way it happens. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Some people are, it's funny. It's funny though, because some people really kind of position themselves to strive to be like, I want to hear that voice. I want to hear that voice. But it always happens when you least expect
Yes.
it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
'Cause you said you were listening to Biggie Smalls on the
Oh,
radio, right?
I was jamming with Biggie. Me and Biggie was doing it.
And you didn't hear it through the radio, but
Yes.
you were in the car by yourself, and it's like,
Yes.
start a nonprofit, like
Yes.
start a nonprofit,
Yes.
you know?
And just like you said, some people search for it. It wasn't nothing I was searching for. It was nothing I so desired to hear that voice. Listen, I didn't even know nothing about the Holy Spirit until I started to read. One thing I can share is that um, during all this journey, now I'm in ministers and training. So now I'm learning about the Holy Spirit. I'm learning about, and so recognizing that, okay, this wasn't the first time I've had this experience, but because I didn't know about the Holy Spirit, I didn't know what that was. I just thought, okay, you talking to yourself, girl, you crazy. What is going on? But that wasn't it. I wasn't searching for it. I wasn't, because I didn't know what that was. And being able to now be in tune and know that voice and to be able to listen to that voice.
That's your intuition, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, how do I connect with my intuition? What is intuition? There it goes, right there.
Yes. 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 You just
That
have to
inner
be.
voice. Yeah.
Yes, you have to be in tune. And one thing I
Yeah.
can share is that since learning about me and being on this journey, is that I've learned that my purpose in life had been with me since childhood. But because I did not have a relationship with God, I wasn't in tune to his voice, wasn't in tune to the Holy Spirit. My purpose was delayed. It wasn't denied. It was just delayed until I was in the position to be able to hear it, recognize it, and know that this is what you're supposed to be doing. Because even though, I heard the voices say, start this nonprofit, but here I am empowering women saying that's not what I set out to do. That wasn't on my thinking as a child, okay, I'm gonna start to, I'm gonna work on empowering women. But the Holy Spirit had to show me and had to reveal to me. Like it was just like like you go to the movie. It was just like a movie, and he started to show me the movie slowly in my face. This is when your purpose in life had already started, but it was put on hold because you had to be ready for it.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. This is huge. I'm loving this conversation. And the deep part about it is the ability to acknowledge that inner voice,
Yes.
the ability to acknowledge that your tuition is actually activated and it's working, it's communicating with you. And like you said, if you're not connected, you're really not going to know what that is, and you're going
Right.
to bypass it. And do you
Yes.
know how many people have reached that point in their lives where they totally bypass that?
Yes. Yes. Not in tune. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, for me personally, because I'm so in tune, looking back, I'm like, when I was not in tune, that was dangerous. I was living a dangerous life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we all have. But thankfully that we were covered. Thankfully we had someone praying for us. Me and
Mm,
one of my guy friends from home, we school. Like me and my friends, it's a small circle. We all talk, we text, we talk, we make sure we check on each other. And we sit back and laugh sometimes, especially on New Year's Eve. And we think about the times that we were out just having fun, out partying, and the times that so many people were injured, so many people were killed. that we made it home safely.
Yeah.
We didn't have an accident. We wasn't hurt. We didn't harm nobody. And just thinking that how, we wondered, okay, this was really what it was. We used to wonder why are our parents still up when we come home. We grown and our parents are still up waiting for us. But we couldn't
Yeah.
understand that.
Yes.
At the time,
Yes.
that just like, Mom, what you doing? What you waiting up for? But after you gotten older, and we have a son, he's 30. Now I understood what that was all about.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was making sure that we were safe and knew that when we turned that key in that lock, that we were home and everything was good, and they could lay down and go to sleep and know that we were covered, because we was just out there doing foolish stuff. We were young and had no clue about the dangers that were all around us. No clue.
Girl, you could talk about it. Yep. I will raise my hand, that's for sure.
Yes.
But now, yeah, definitely, I do understand. I do understand exactly what that's all about and how it works,
Yes.
and basically how to really not only cover yourself, but to cover other people.
Right.
And to even go even deeper. I mean, our ancestors, they did so much for us
Yes.
sometimes without even us realizing how deep it went. But ancestral healing goes very far, and it starts with
Yes.
you right here. You know what I mean? And when you continue on to be able to cover everybody as you being one person, and each and every one person does that within their family, that helps a whole generation.
Oh, yes, it does.
You
Yes, it
know?
does.
The whole generation now, before, and beyond. And
Yes.
that's powerful. That is super powerful. Like, nobody could go over that.
No.
So I want to take the time to congratulate you on that, because that's deep. That's deep. And it's a major responsibility.
Yes. Yes. It is. It is. Because you're not being selfish. Because now you're praying for yourself, but now you're praying and covering others.
Yes,
Making
it
sure that
is.
they get to where they need to go, making sure that they're safe, health and strength, making sure that they're covered, and not being selfish and say, you know what? No, I'm not praying for them. No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to making sure that we cover each other, no matter what. Take yourself out and put them in, and don't be selfish, because
Right,
that's what we're supposed to be doing as Christians. That's what we're supposed to be doing as believers, is covering each other.
right, right. Let me see. We have some comments here.
Okay.
Let's see. Barbarian Divinity. Oh, hi. How are you? Good seeing you again. I know you can't answer because you're in the middle of the show, but it's Jackie Nels. Jackie Nels, how you doing? It's been a while. Welcome aboard. Thank you for the support. We have so many other comments. I want to take the time to acknowledge a few people in the
Okay.
room here.
No problem.
Dwayne Hurd is an avid The Martine Show fan. So I want to take the time
Hello.
to acknowledge him. Mr. Wrench Turner is in the house tonight, avid The Martine Show fan, and I want to acknowledge them. Tracy by Design, thank you so much for being here. Songbird0918, thank you for being with us. I saw your sister, I
Yes.
believe.
Yep. She was on.
Weeda Lane
Yes.
1, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so
And
much
then
for your
that's my girl.
support.
That's my sister, my other sister. She's my girlfriend, my sweet girlfriend, Tracy by Design. She's on too with me.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Zioness Skincare. Oh my God, another fan of the Martine Show. It's been a while, girl. Thank you so much for logging on. How you doing? So, those of you who just came on, we're talking to an author friend, and she's also a women empowerment speaker, dropping gems on her personal journey right here. This is Tiwana Carlton out in California.
Yes.
And she is in the game, sharing her story, started her journey about 50 years old, and said, no matter what, I'm here to strive and I'm going to fulfill my purpose. And here she is today. So
Yes.
she's been really dropping her interpersonal part of herself to
Yes.
us. It's been such a glory to really listen. So tell me, your book, tell us about the book. How did that idea come about and how did you get involved?
So, like I was saying, I went to the retreat, Unstoppable Women Retreat in Maryland in 2017. And so, like I said, it's about 12 of us, and we got together. We had never met in person. And so this was our opportunity for all us to get together with our mentor. And so from there, my mentor was offering a speech class. So that if you wanted to formulate your speech, you wanted to get on stage, she was just offering different programs. And so this was one particular one that I took. She offered it to me. And so I was like, okay, learning to, get my speech together because I'm the host of Soul Cooking with Tea. And she was like, listen, girl, you got to be right when you get on there. You just can't be saying no and ah and all these different things. And so I was like, okay, I'll get into class. And so I did. And so I started to write my speech, what I wanted to talk about. I never set out to write a book. But one of my sisters that was in the mentoring program, like we talked, well, all of us connect, but me and her just connected real close. And we would talk, and she was like, why don't you write a book? And I'm saying, girl, I don't have time. I don't know nothing about to write no book. I don't, I'm good. I'm good on that. And so, but she would never allow that to die. Like when we would talk, she was like, okay, what about your book? And I would say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. But in the back of my mind, I'm saying, and this is the truth, I'm saying I don't want nobody to know my business. I don't want nobody to know what I've been going through. I don't want no woman giving me the side eye. I don't want no woman whispering behind my back about what I want to say that's going on in my life, in my personal life, where I'm wearing this mask in public and this mask in private. I don't want nobody to know. And so I had to pray about it. I had to really, come like, okay, am I really going to tell my story? Am I really going to tell my deepest things that have been going on in my life? And so she kept on to me. And so one day she reached out to me and she was like, hey, I need you to take a writer's class. And I'm still saying, what book am I about to write? Because I don't know nothing about that. But she would not allow, because one thing you have, I talk about on one of my lives, I talk about who's in your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
The woman that's in my tribe that could see what I could not see.
Mm.
She could see that I had a book in me where I couldn't see that because I was pushing against it because I didn't want nobody to know my business. So she said, you know what? I need you to take a writer's class. My first thing out my mouth was, well, how much is it? Because my coins are short. I don't know about taking, I'll have extra. So I'm coming up with all these excuses not to get in this writer's class. And she said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I got you. But I need you to take this class. And so I got into class, and my writing coach, she was like, okay, what do you want to write about? I'm still pushing because I don't want to tell my story. But after a while, the walls started to come down. And then another thing happened is that God started to allow women in my life to start talking to me about certain things, start questioning me, start having, coming to me, I need to just talk to you. And I'm saying, but I'm broken and you want to talk to me. But I'm not saying that literally to them. I'm saying that to myself. Like, God, I'm broken. You know what I'm going through. You know the trials and tribulations that I'm going through. But here's a woman that trusts me enough to come to me and say, hey, I need to talk to you. So now I'm saying, well, maybe I need to write this book. Then it starts to happen more and more. And now I get a little bit more confidence. Okay, I think I'll start to write my story. And so I started to write probably a little bit in 18, a little bit more, much more in 19. And then my writing coach was like, okay, you wrote, all right, let's put it together. And I start to put it together, and I could just see it coming. And like I said, how God just works, that women just kept coming. And I couldn't understand, what is it about me? But it wasn't about me. It was how I was going to be able to help them to see themselves, to know that they are worthy, that you are blessed, that whatever you set your mind to, listen, you can do it no matter what you've been through, whether you've been molested, whether you've been raped, whatever it is, you can move past all of that brokenness and be the woman that you so dreamed about, the woman that God has shown you to be, and that you can do it. And I said, you know what? Okay, it's time. I'm going to tell my story. And so that's how I came up with the first book. And my first book, here it is. I'm so excited about it. It says, Will the Real You Stand Up? See, I wasn't standing. I wasn't standing. Because like I say, here I am crying every day. How am I going to stand when I'm still wearing a mask in public and a mask in private? And so I had to tell my story so that other women know that, listen, you are not alone. Now, you may not be on the same road I've been on, but listen, we've all been on a road, a journey of learning who we are and whose we are, and that you can make it. Because if I can make it, you can make it.
Wow. You know that with everything that you shared, your actual journey, like everything that you went through, was purposeful for you to get to your actual purpose.
Yes.
And this is how it was developed. Like, it's by design.
Yes. Yes. It was destined.
You know, yes, very destined.
Yes.
And I love the fact that earlier that you said that it might have been delayed. You're sure about that, but you definitely was not denied, and you definitely were not denied at all.
Right. And I realized that's, my thing was, okay, God, why am I going through this? Why am I crying? Why? I was always the why.
Yes.
But now I understand the why. I understand I had to go through those things so that I could be an example for another woman to say, listen, you can make it. Now, has it been easy? No. So but get back to making sure you have those women in your tribe. Tribe that's going to push you. Tribe that's not going to let you give up. The tribe of when that tree starts to shake, that sister going to be right there holding you down. She's not going to let you fall. She's not going to let you slip. And so I had to realize that there were women that were in my tribe that were not going to allow me to fall. They were going to push me and push me until I just say, okay, I got it. I'm going to do it. And so I'm thankful because God could have not allowed those women to be on my path, not me to be on their path, but he did allow me and them to meet up. And I'm thankful for that.
That's very, very powerful. My journey was very similar, to tell you the truth. And I basically, it was funny how it all transpired, where I was already published 6 times, right? So by the time I did Faces of Uterine Fibroids, which was my personal story, my personal book, and my own anthology that I created, and wanted to tell my fibroid story to basically just share it, because I reached a point of deliverance in my life after so much suffering. So I did that, but I had no idea that that was the book that was gonna bring me over the top. That was the book that got all the attention. That was the book that put my name on the charts. That was the book that had people contacting me, like you. Women were looking for you and telling you their story, and and there was a point where I needed healing, because I had just gone through surgery. I'm still going through everything, and my body is still out of whack, and I'm presenting here, and I'm interviewing here, and I'm doing all these things like you were doing your show and all that stuff. And you're like, I don't want people to know my business. I don't want this, I was in that same boat.
Wow.
I was in that same boat. And it's funny, like I say it now, and a lot of people who knew me back then, that come on my show and I say, this is what I was going through. They're like, nah, there's no way.
Yes.
Because you know what? We held it nice.
Yes. We put on that face like it's nothing wrong. Everything is peaches and cream. You know,
Yes.
we're gonna do this. Come on, let's rock and roll. But when the lights go out and we shut our door, it's a whole different ball game.
I mean, like you said, there are times where I was scheduled to be at a place to illustrate my book or to interview with someone, and I would cry on my way there as I'm
Yeah.
driving,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and wipe everything up.
Yep.
And then when I'm done, I come home, I just drop myself on
Yep.
the couch or the bed or whatever, and I'll just cry my heart out
Yes.
until like next morning or something.
Yes.
And that's the way it happened until I came to the point where I was just like, okay, I went to therapy. You know, I went through so many different things, and then I pretty much basically found myself eventually. And here I am here today. But
Amen.
it was a necessary journey by all
Yes.
means, you
Yes.
know?
And that's what a lot of women don't. I feel as though they don't know how to get to where we are because
Mm-mm.
that stigma of crabs in a bucket. My sister
Yeah,
gonna talk about me. She gonna pull me down. She gonna scandalize my name. So then it goes back to who's in your tribe,
absolutely.
who's around you, who you allow in your space, who you allow to you to entertain with, who you allow in your home. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to be mindful of those women because I have a sister that's on here, Tracy. Listen, she's an event planner, and she does amazing events. And she does recently have been doing yacht parties. And listen, she has allowed me in her space to assist her, just to be there to help decorate whatever assignment it is. And so having that sister, because she's in my tribe and I'm in her tribe. And when I go to help her, it's not about me. It's making sure that her dream is fulfilled, making sure she reached the goal that she has set out to do, because that's what we're supposed to be doing as women. Like, we're not supposed to be trying to pull each other down, because listen, God has given each one of us a purpose in life. He's given
Right.
everyone a dream. And why am I going to knock you trying to make my dream? Because listen, if I'm doing that, somewhere down the line, something's gonna happen that I'm not gonna achieve what I'm supposed to achieve. So I'm gonna make sure I'm there to back you, I'm there to help you and push you when you need pushing. So we have to be mindful again of who's in our tribe.
Absolutely. I'm
Yes.
very thankful that you had angels basically in your
Oh yeah.
tribe that
Yes.
were looking out for you. I'm grateful that I had angels as well. Um, some of us probably exchange angels
Yes. Yes.
at a
Yes.
certain point based on our affiliations and
Yes.
stuff. And like I said, your tribe is very important.
Yes, it
And
is.
one thing I want to add to that is, you know, people need to be very mindful also, not only about their tribe, but to know when to alter the tribe. Because as you move forward,
Yeah.
there are times where you need to understand that you are also ascending, you're growing.
Right.
So where you were 20 years ago or 15 years ago,
Yes.
and hanging around with whoever you were hanging around with back
Right.
then may not be suitable for who you are within your purpose and where
That's
you're
right.
moving to.
That's right.
Okay.
That's so important. So
So,
important.
yeah. So that's why they tell you, you know, unfortunately, everybody can't move on with you, which is true. But there's a reason and a purpose for that. And you're growing also, you're elevating. So some conversations are mundane to you. You're not going to have them anymore. It's not the same, you know, dialogue. We don't have the same lingo anymore.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the way it flows. But I'm glad that you have great people within your circle
Yes.
and they helped you find your purpose, because that's so important. I want to talk about the nonprofit organization that you created. Now, I know that you say that you actually there to empower women, but what exactly within the organization, how is it structured, and what do you guys actually do?
So with the nonprofit, it ranges from girls from ages to 10 to 17. So I offer different workshops. It's about empowering young girls. Listen, that you can reach that glass ceiling and you can break it no matter where you come from, no matter where you live. See, I was raised, like I said, in the South by my grandparents. And it was never, no was never a part of the conversation. So if I said I wanted to be a cheerleader, I wanted to try out. Listen, I'm a plus size girl. I always have been a plus size girl. So my parents never said, no, I don't think you need to do that. So I want young girls to know that even though somebody has said no, I want you to know that yes, you can do it. Yes, you can try. Yes, let yes be a part of your vocabulary. And so what I try to do is I offer one of the workshops that I offer is for young girls to be entrepreneurs. So if you want to start a business, I'll show you, give you the basics, making sure that you have the right paperwork, making sure you have your name reserved, making sure that if you want to start a corporation or if you want to start an LLC, if it's a makeup company, it's a whatever, it's an ice cream business or it's a milkshake business or you want to sell lemonade. So I help these young girls get the basics of what they need, making sure they got the email, making sure, because it's a lot in just getting to the business and then making sure they have a plan. Like, I need you to have a plan. We're going to map this thing out. What is it that you want to do in this business? Listen, just because you say you want to start a business, okay, we got to have funding. Where are you going to start it at? Do you have the money to start it? Okay, do we need to do fundraisers? So, showing them how to do that. And another thing, one of the other workshops that I do, I remember my nephew came to me one day and he said, and they called me T. He said, T, can you help me write a letter? He's in junior high school. And I'm saying, a letter? You saying with the body, the salutation, signature, that's what you're talking about? He's like, yeah. So I said, show me how you would write a letter. He handed me his phone. So that's how you would write a letter to somebody. So I'm saying, no, we need to, this generation need to learn how to write a basic letter because everybody do everything on the phone. And that's exactly what it is called. Going back to basics, a pen and a piece of paper. And so I introduced them to, listen, you need to know what's the part of the body of how to formulate a letter. You need to know what to put on the envelope. Do you know where the stamp goes? Do you even know what a stamp looks like?
Let me tell you, that is, ooh, child, you just hit it up. Like, that is, those little knick-knack things that we maybe took for granted because it was just like regular for us. Right now, that's so like luxurious for, younger people because they have no idea what we're talking about.
Nope, they don't know of writing a letter. And do you even know what the mailbox is? Do you know how to go and drop the mail in the box? Not go and pick the mail out of the box, put your key in, get your mail out. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Do you know how to drop it in a box?
Oh my goodness.
Outgoing mail. And that's because used to say, out of state or in state. Do you know, just the basics. And so I want girls to, it's just, they don't, it's just different raising, and I want young girls not to lose those things. That's just a part of, and then I also offer, mentoring. Like, you need to have a mentor because sometimes these young girls can't talk to the parents, even though they think they can, but they can. But it's just knowing how to communicate, and they don't know how to do that because maybe, mom didn't know how to communicate with her mother, and so we pass those things, like you said earlier, from one generation to the next generation. And so we're just trying to break some of those cycles and say, listen, you are worthy. You can do this. You have my support. We're going to do this. But listen, it's work. You have to do it. I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm here to support.
This is so, so very awesome. I'm so glad that you're taking your time to really, it's an education. It really is.
Yes.
It's like home economics education,
yes.
like the foundations of life, you know, what you're doing. And it's imperative. It's most essential thing that we all need, especially now where everything is known to be electronic. You
Yes.
know, nothing is manual anymore. You
Right.
know, so you're bringing these young children to get in touch with themselves.
Yes.
You know, to know how to use their hands. You
Yes.
know, to really know how to use their brain, and
Yes.
that's really awesome. That's
And so
really
one of
awesome.
the other program workshops that I do is we do a genealogy. And so what it's really about is that now, because a lot of times young girls don't have a great communication with their parents, whether it be the mother, the father, grandmother, aunt, they don't have great communication skills. And so being able to offer a genealogy part of a workshop, that opens up. Now I got to go and talk to mom, dad, aunt, cousins. So I got to communicate, because now I need to ask questions of what health problems have we had in the family? Do you know where we come from? Can you tell me anything about my great great grandparents? Do you have pictures? And so I show them how to set up their family tree. So now it's a open. Now I gotta have a communication. So it's going back to basics. Now I gotta, if whether it's we sitting in the living room and I walk in as a child, like I said, may not have great communication skills. Maybe we don't know how to communicate well. But now I gotta ask questions, because I gotta know. What, Mom? Where did I come from? Where did our family come from? Did we come from Ireland? Did we come from Africa? Did we come from Paris? Where are our ancestors from? So that's another one of the programs, workshops that we offer, because we need to know. You need to ask questions, because one thing I learned from my son, because our son he went to the doctor and he said, Mom, I need to know about my medical history. And I'm saying, baby, you don't know? He was like, no, Mom, because you took care of everything. And so I kind of felt guilty, because I had done all these things for him. And then we moved away from home and he's on his own. He's having to call. And I'm saying, okay, I failed a little bit, because I took care of everything that he needed to. Now that he's on his own, now he doesn't know. Like, he's like, Mama, what I'm supposed to put on this, line. And I said, but you have asthma. He knew the basics, but he was like, but my earlier, Mama, did I get shots? What shots as a child? Did I get those, needed shots? And so then that made me think, listen, we need to make sure that our young girls know about their bodies. They need to ask questions. They need to know about their health. They need to know about the family's health. And so in order for that to happen, now you got to talk. And so now I'm going to show you how to build your family tree as a workshop, and just opening the doors, because that opens the doors. You don't realize the communication, because now I start to talk to Mom. I start to talk to my aunt, whoever it is. Now I start to talk. And maybe you didn't have that bonding. Now that brings you closer together as a family.
That's a very important part, the communication, because I had the same issue, with it on my part of my story. My mother was not even aware the lack of communication until I became an award-winning author with my book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even though when my book came out, she read it and she was more like, okay, she didn't really get it
Right.
until it started gaining attention.
Right.
And that's when she realized that everything that I went through and throughout my journey, that she actually wasn't really present. Like, she really was not connected. She was not getting it.
Yeah.
Until I reached the point where, even when I told her that I need to have surgery, I'm going to have surgery, I have to remove these fibroids, she was like, do you really need to? Like, do you really need to? And I'm like, yeah, I mean,
wasn't communicating.
Yeah, she was totally in denial. And it's until I had the surgery and I came out of surgery, when I was in recovery, my family looked at my face, and I never forget this. They said that when I came out of surgery and first time I opened my eyes, it's like they saw like a beacon of light on me.
Wow.
Like, I was just lit up. Like, I was totally relieved. Like I needed to get this done.
Yes.
And till then, even back then when they say that they realized that, it still took them a while because they're like, oh, you're gonna write a story? Like why? Like is this necessary? You know?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
not until way after. Like now they get it. But they didn't realize like they really wasn't really there. Like I was really going through this trauma
Right.
on my own. And because I was going through it on my own, then I had to learn about what was my prior history, what did my great grandmother go to, what did my grandmother go to, what did my mother go to, like all these things, like trying to figure out. So I end up becoming like the pillar of my generation for the family. You know, I'm basically you in my
Yes.
generation, you
Yes.
know, doing it. But it's interesting how when parents are living their lives and doing whatever they need to do, they lose a sense of connection
Yes.
with their children because they're so busy having to fulfill for responsibilities.
Right. Right. And for me, like I knew my grandmother made sure, we knew history. Like she made sure she wrote in the Bible the names, but it was never talked about health. Like I knew when my grandmother, I knew because being raised by her, I knew she had high blood pressure. I knew she had diabetes. I knew that my grandfather had high blood pressure. So those things, but then anything past that had no clue. So now, you're learning and you've asked, I started to ask questions. I only have one uncle that's alive. And so I started asking questions. Like I want to know, this, because our son came to me one day. He was like, well, Mom, where are we really from? And I was like, well, you know what? We just have to go to Ancestry, do a DNA, and we'll truly find out. I said, I know what Mom has said, but let's do the research so that we can find out. And so, thankfully, we were able to find so much on Ancestry, about our family. But we know about the family, but then I need to know the health because
Yes.
our son, he had asthma. Nobody in the family had asthma. So we couldn't, even on his dad's side, we couldn't understand, okay, this child has asthma. Okay, that just happened, that he just was born to have asthma and allergies. Where just maybe a year or so ago, I found out, okay, well, I have allergies and some asthma. Well, I didn't know that because
Mhm.
nobody in the family, but it showed up, as I've gotten older. But, things like that, you need to know some of your health history. And so that's what I want to make sure that these young girls, are well equipped, well informed, and that they know some things, just some basics. We're not out there trying to teach them, just all these worldly things. Listen, I want you to know some basics of things, and I want you to be confident. I want you to know that you are worthy, that you can achieve whatever you set out, no matter that somebody's on your right saying no, somebody's on your left saying no. Yes, you can. You can do it. You can do this.
I want to take this time to acknowledge a few more people who came in the chat room. Chat room
Okay.
is very lit. We have another avid Martine show fan, Positive Vibes. Thank you so much for coming through. Mrs. Keys, that's
Thank
Cassandra
you.
Keys. Thank you for your support. And let's see,
Yes.
we have
Hello.
Brian Blaze who came through. He actually says to me that he's about to be in a Netflix movie. He needs another interview. So thank you so much. We'll connect on that. Hit me up in
Yes.
the inbox. Uh-huh. And let's see. I saw Peyton, boy's mom here as well. Welcome aboard. Mrs. Anderson, Budget Travel Group, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for coming in the house. So now we're going to go into the last part. We're going to talk about your nomination, Miss Queen Sister. Let's
Yes.
talk about the Archie nomination. How
Listen,
you feeling about that?
I don't know. My emotions are all over the place. Um, I remember you reaching out to me in my inbox and said that you were going to nominate me, and I was like, okay, in my mind, because I was in a space of still learning and still trying to accept that, like, girl, you are worthy of the things that are about to happen for you, the things that you're about to go through, the things that you are about to experience. And so I was excited because I'm saying, oh, this is exciting. But on the back burner, I was saying, I don't know. But then I got the email, and I was about to dump the email. And something, I thought it was the Holy Spirit, because he said, no, don't dump. I had dumped everything except that email. And I said, well, I don't know this person that has just emailed me saying you've been nominated. Not even thinking about, you had already told me, because this has been a year ago. And I'm just like, okay, I'm about to dump this. And the Holy Spirit said, no, don't dump that. Open that and see what it is. And so when I opened it, I started to scream, because now it is a reality that I have been nominated. And I was so excited, because I think when I got it, I think I immediately inboxed you and told you, thank you, I got my nomination. And still, I'm still in, I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm just in that I don't know. And
Well, one thing I have to say, I love your excitement. And the way that you're feeling, I want to let you know that it's perfect, because that's the feeling to have, that I don't know, you know.
I don't know.
Okay. One thing I want to tell you about Achi, for those of you who don't know, it's a women organization. It's a women organization, a very nice, prestigious association where we celebrate women. We recognize women for who they are, what they have to offer. It's all about purpose. So basically, everything that we discuss right here, we can tell that Tiwana Carlton is a great candidate for nomination, because she has fulfilled, without any preparation, every aspect that is necessary right here on the interview, and that's why she was nominated. Lo and behold, I did not even know about the in and outs of Tawana's story, but one thing about being part of Achi, it's very spiritual. It's very innate. We're very connected to source, okay? And we embody the organization, the whole mission and the purpose, and we recognize those who ought to be recognized, basically.
Wow.
And that's how you were chosen, you know. You know,
I tell my girlfriends, and my family have asked, and I remember my mentor telling us, you don't never know who's watching you.
Yeah.
So always show up. And so I did not have a clue. And, you know, that always sticks with me, because the days when I didn't want to show up on Soul Cooking with Me, those days that I just didn't want to do anything, I had to remember, my mentor says, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching your journey. You don't never know who you're going to be able to help on this journey. And like I said, you know, being in ministry and training, I started to read, and I read this because there are people waiting for me to be able to do what I'm supposed to do, what you're supposed to be doing, and we are supposed to be able to help them get to their next level. You know, you hear people say that like it's a cliche, but to see it in the word and know that we're supposed to be doing what we're supposed to be doing, no matter what it looks like, no matter how painful it may be, that there are people that are assigned to us that we're supposed to help them get to their next journey, or their next step, their next level. And so I'm just thankful that you saw something in me to nominate me for this award. Like I said, I don't know. What you will realize, and some of my girlfriends, if they were on here, they would tell you, oh, she's a crybaby. Now she just cried at a drop of a hat.
It's okay.
So I am I've told my girlfriend, so my girlfriend and my sister are coming with me to the show, to the award show. And I'm in a panic, because I'm saying, girl, they said red carpet. You got to have a dress. you got to have shoes. And I'm saying, what am I supposed to do?
It's formal, you know.
Yes,
It's like our own personal, I would say, Academy Awards, Emmy
yes,
Awards
yes,
thing,
yes,
you know. It's like that.
yes.
It's I'm gonna read the guidelines for you here. Okay,
Okay,
so the it started through a magazine, right?
okay.
And then from the Archie magazine, then they created the organization, and then ended up with wanting to create sisterhood, and also award women and celebrate women, and then it turned into an organization as well. So the purpose for Archie is to honor the contributions of extraordinary women working in various fields throughout the Hampton Roads area and beyond. That's when they had just started, but they expand. So our goal is to celebrate the spirit of womanhood and give encouragement to those women who would follow.
Wow.
The mission is to inspire, empower, encourage, and educate the minds of women from all races, cultures, and creeds.
Mm,
And the criteria, women who, through consistency and longevity, have achieved success in a chosen profession or career are eligible for consideration. Potential honorees are those persons who are viewed not only for what they have individually achieved, but also for the achievement they inspire in others.
wow. And to hear empower, inspire, those are the words that I use for my nonprofit, to encourage, to inspire, and empower young girls. Those are the three things that I try to do for those young girls. I'm just excited. I'm looking forward to the sisterhood. I'm looking forward to meeting all the women. I'm just excited. I'm excited, and I am just amazed at how God is working in my life, and the doors and the people He's put me before. I am thankful. I am
So now you see why you were basically chosen.
yes, yes, yes,
You were chosen to be nominated.
yes. My sister, she lives in Georgia, and I forgot to mention her because she lives in Georgia. So she said, "I'm excited to be going with my sister who is nominated." Yes,
Yes, Maria G. Yes, yes, yes. And the only thing I'm gonna tell you is to embrace it, because this is your moment. Embrace it from now until you reach your destination in terms of going to the luncheon. Once you're done with the luncheon, then you will also be invited to go to the show, which
okay.
is different, So either way, at the luncheon, basically the way it works is that you introduce yourself, you get to know the women who are going to be around at that setting for that particular day. There are different
Okay.
luncheons and stuff. But either way, just embrace it. This is your moment.
I am.
Yeah.
I truly am.
And one thing I'm gonna tell you about Ashi, I'm gonna tell you this. When you become nominated, even if you're not ready, this is you embarked on the journey to get ready. This
Okay.
is your beginning. It's a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna share with you now, like what I do now compared to what I was doing before is totally different.
Okay.
And a lot of the inspiration that, like doing this show and everything else, a lot of it comes from me being connected to Achi
Oh wow.
and developing a side of myself that I didn't know existed.
Mm. The
Okay.
growth. Yes.
If it wasn't for Achi, I would never be doing this show right here. I would never be, I would have never have taken the opportunity to get on an app and start creating videos,
Mm.
and just expanding myself. I would have never done that.
Wow. I'm
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I am truly looking forward to it. The sisterhood, and meeting other women. from all over. And I'm just thankful that you nominated me. You know, just the nomination itself is a blessing.
It is.
It
But you
is.
know what? You're one of the lucky ones because you actually know that someone nominated you. Some people
Yeah.
don't know that someone nominated them, but they get nominated.
Wow.
So you're one of the lucky ones that is clearly out there that you know that I nominated you because
Right.
I contacted you prior.
Right.
But everybody doesn't get it that way.
Oh,
So
wow.
so if you think that it's surprising now and a little spooky now, imagine the people who actually don't know who nominated
No,
them.
right.
But
I
they're like,
know.
okay, because till today, I still don't know who nominated me.
Wow.
And I end up winning
Never, the
as
person
well.
never said anything.
Till today, I don't know who nominated me. And I tell you, Archie for me is it's been a great fit
Hmm.
from the first time I got the nomination, not knowing what it was all about. From the
Right.
time I went to the luncheon, introduced myself, connected with the women over there, and then went to the award show and won. It's been a perfect fit for me.
Oh, wow.
So to the person who nominated me, I always say thank you and I pray, that
Right.
this person bless me.
Right.
But I don't know who this person is till
Oh,
today.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
And my
wow.
Archie moment was in 2019.
Okay. Okay. So it's just recent.
Yeah, it was in
Yes.
2019.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm
So,
excited. I already got my ticket. We've already got our tickets to fly, and so just in the preparation. And I have, like I said, I have a great girlfriend, um, and my sister that lives here in California is going, to come, and then my sister that lives, there in Georgia. So we just making plans and thankful that I
good,
have them around to come, with me to celebrate
good.
because having that tribe again, you know,
Yes.
to be there, support you, to love on you, to be there to celebrate you, and they have truly celebrated. Just me letting them know that I was nominated. A girl from the South, from a small town in Troy, Alabama. This is huge. It's huge that I, wrote not only one book, and I forgot to mention, so I have two books. I have Will the Real You Stand Up? That's the one I showed you. And then I have this one. This is my journal. So the
The
journal
pathway.
goes with the book. It is a pathway to your new you. So it has, it's a 30-day journal. It tells you what to do. Just encourages you what to do for 30 days. Not only
Mm,
is it a journal, but because my grandmother and I enjoyed daylilies, loved daylilies. And
hmm.
so not only is it a journal that takes you, through inspirational things to do for 30 days, but you can color in your journal. Like you made
Nice.
sure the daylilies.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes.
I love
So
that.
for 30 days, it's a different daylily, and you are able to color that daily because that coloring, people be like, girl, I'm past the color. You don't know what that coloring does.
It
That's
connects the inner child.
that gets you, out of whatever mood you're in. Sometimes
Yeah.
it takes you back to your childhood. Sometimes
Yeah.
it gets your juices flowing as far as an entrepreneur, thinking about things that you want to do, you desire to be doing, and now your mind is clear. Okay, I done colored a little bit. Now my inspiration is I can write. Now let me write. Let me, whatever it is. And so just to share a little bit about the journal, my girlfriend that made sure I took the writing class, she's the inspiration behind my journal because I did not. My thing was on writing one book. I'm good. I'm done. I'm a publish it. We're gonna get it published, and I'm good. But she kept pushing, and she said, "Why don't you write a journal?" And one thing I want to share with you and the audience is when God gives you a vision, and He gives you that vision, and He plainly gives it to you. Follow that vision just like He gave it to you, because He gave it to me, and I wanted to change it.
Mm,
I wanted to change what He said to do. And every time I wanted to look at somebody else's journal, he said, that ain't what I said to do. So every time I would start to write extra to go in the journal, that's not what I said for you to do. And so this journal was what he gave me, what he downloaded to me, what I heard him plainly say to do. And that's what I did. I didn't add, only thing I added was the flowers, because that was a dedication to my grandmother, because that was our thing. We always had a flower bed full of daylilies. I never heard of him say, don't put it in there. So I knew that it was okay that I put those daylilies in there. But so, you know, just get that journal helps you on a 30-day to discover you, discover who you are, being able to get clear on the voice that you can hear, the voice of the Holy Spirit, being clear that you know the things that you so desire to be doing in life. And so I have those two, and I'm just happy, and I'm so proud that I had those women in my life that God has allowed to come on my path and need to cross paths with them to be able to have not one book, but to have 2 books on Amazon. And I can say, from a girl from Troy, Alabama, that I am a published author. I'm not bootlegging it out of the back of a car, but I am a published author. And I am so grateful. And now to be nominated for such an amazing award. Like, I'm just, my girlfriend keeps asking me, how do you feel? I don't know. I'm excited. I'm overwhelmed. I'm just all those things, everything, emotions and everything, but just grateful that you saw something in me to be able to share with somebody else. And I thank you. I thank you for that.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of you. You know, your sister just said she's proud of you. I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to connect. You know,
Yes.
it's a beautiful union. And watching you grow has been amazing. And I want to see more of you. I really do. And I look forward to watching you flourish, seeing what Achi does with you, you know, and we're going to take it from there. But you're on a very beautiful path. It's amazing.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So I want to take the time to thank each and every one of you guys who was in the chat room. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for all the kind words, all the upliftment that you guys brought, the warmth, you know, that you brought to the show tonight, the support that you gave Tiwana Carlton, and I was totally amazing. As I always tell you guys, this show is a self-love journey. So Tiwana did cover those bases for us. She covered the self-awareness part for sure, as well as the self-development part. And everything social, she was all up in there telling us everything about her inner life stories and stuff like that. So congratulations to you, as Songbird0918 just stated, Tiwana. Congratulations. And we're definitely looking forward to see what's next for you, you know, because you're climbing the ladder, you know, so we want to see what's next for you for sure. I'm going to be posting this live on my page so anybody else can watch it from there. By next week, it will be posted on my YouTube channel, which is author Martine Myers, the same name as my Instagram page as well. I'm also creating a blog. So what I'm going to request from you is to, I will give you my email where you can submit your biography to me. And I'm going to post it together with a short story for the blog so that we can capture it a little bit differently. But the video part is going to be on Instagram as well as YouTube. Okay. But the biography part with your links will be on the blog. All right. So anyone who's interested in Tiwana, by all means, please follow her on Instagram. We got Soul Cooking with Tea, and we got Tiwana Carlton for you guys to follow. Please do, you know, give her the support. Thank you. Yeah, Peyton Boy's mom said she followed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Who else said to follow? Somebody else said they following. Maria G, of course, yes, you'll be following as well, and everything. And I know Tracy by Design has been posting the link for Tawana's Amazon.
Yes.
So please capture that. Please be sure to have your link to your books on your Instagram, you
Okay.
know, where they can go to and click in the bio where they could go
Okay.
directly to that. Okay.
Thank you for
That's
that. Thank you
important.
for that.
Where you're welcome. So people could be able to purchase your book directly there. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So once again, congratulations to everyone. It was a wonderful night.
Yes.
You know, I really appreciate everyone who came through tonight. And Tawana, keep moving forward. Keep doing you. All right. We'll be back on Thursday, that is, guys, for another show. So please tune in back again for something new, 8 p.m. EST, right here on Instagram Live at author Martine Myers. That's it for tonight. See you guys. Have a
Bye.
great one.
Thank you.
Bye. You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Take care.